What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. This is the first video of this series of health and fitness for babies, because in this channel we are starting off fitness and health related videos for babies, women, and old aged people as well, along with the general videos that we do, which is pretty much for everybody. So today's topic is colic, or infantile colic, or baby colic. So keep watching. Infantile colic, or baby colic, is basically the pattern in babies where the babies start crying and keeps on crying for about 2 to 3 hours continuously, weeks for long, and a particular day of the time for apparently no reason. And the most important thing is that no matter what you do, you can't seemingly stop it. It's really frustrating when new parents, when they see their baby who's otherwise quite healthy, and just for the first 1 month or after the 1 month, all of a sudden starts this pattern. And basically the crying for colic is really incessantly high pitched. The baby is in stress, you can understand that, and as a parent it's really frustrating for you, because no matter what you try, you can't really stop your baby. So we'll go through a few things. We'll first try to understand how to identify if your baby is crying because of colic, because colic can be identified by crying, and babies cry anyway. So you have to identify if the crying that your baby is doing is for colic or not. The second thing, we want to know why it happens. Although there is no conclusive reason that was found for this, there are different ideas that the experts have come up with, and we're going to talk about those. The third and the most important thing is that although there's seemingly no cure to this thing, you can still soothe your baby, and how you can go about it. To differentiate normal crying from the colicky crying, you're going to watch out for these few things. So your baby is otherwise really healthy. She or he is not having any other issues or cries for some other trouble. But when she starts crying, she'll cry for about 2 to 3 hours continuously. Well, this number can vary. Your baby can cry for 1 hour, or even some cases they can cry for overnight, like 4 to 5 hours stretch. The other thing that you got to watch out for is that the crying happens at the same time of the day, mostly late evening or early night, like about 6 p.m. to about 1 o'clock in the morning. During this time, generally colicky symptoms appear to be the most intense. The other thing that you got to watch out for is that your baby is crying continuously for days and weeks for long. Because if your baby is crying just for a day and then the other days she's just fine, then it's probably not colic. There was something acute that had happened for that particular time. The good news is that colic is not there to stay. Generally, babies get colic, if they want to get it, at about 3 to 4 weeks of their age, and then it lasts about 10 to 11 weeks, or 10 to 11th week of their age. Now, this is just a reference range for your baby. If she or he is having colic, it could start before or after this reference time and can end before or after this reference time. Although it's not really found out for particular why colic happens or why babies get into this colicky stage, there are certain ideas which as experts nailed down, and you can actually figure out which is the one that could be the cause for your baby's colicky situation. One is, of course, the new heightened senses. So when the baby is born, she or he is supposed to turn off a lot of senses during the first 1 month of their birth. That's because this is what they do so that they can have a sound sleep, because during the birth or right after the birth for about 1 month, 1 or 2 months, they kind of eat, sleep, pee, and poop, and that's it. That's pretty much what they do. And they can do this or achieve this by turning off a lot of senses so that they can have a good sleep. But about 3 to 4 weeks of age, their senses, this particular mechanism of their body starts to shut off. That is, they start experiencing a lot of senses, sounds, smells, sometimes a bit of hearing, seeing also. So all these senses can actually give them a huge jolt of different sense, and that can cause a lot of incessant crying. The other reason could be GERD, where the actual valve that stops the stomach acid to come up to the esophagus that's underdeveloped, and that's why the stomach acid comes up to the esophagus and causing irritation in the baby, and that's GERD. And if that's the case for your baby, do consult the doctor, because there are particular medications that can fix this. The other thing that could happen is because, of course, the third and the fourth reasons are kind of connected. That is, the digestive system of your little one is not fully developed. So when he or she gets the milk in, it's not digested completely in the whole tract, and then it causes gas. And then when the gas tries to either come up or go out from the bottom, it causes pain. And that's why the baby keeps on crying. But although there is no seeming cure to this thing, as long as it lasts in the baby, you can still help your baby or little one in different ways. So the first thing that you need to do, and if you know that your baby is having colic, then you need to turn down a lot of environmental noises at a particular time of the day when the colic strikes. So about early evening or late in the night, when you think that the colic might strike, you want to cut out a lot of environmental issues, like you need to turn off the music. If there's a lot of rattling sound going on somewhere around your environment, you gotta stop that. You gotta dim the light so that there's not much of a high lumen light going on around. So all these things you have to do, and you have to talk in a really low voice so that it's much soothing. The other thing that you can do is that if you know that your baby is having GERD, or if your baby is having gas problem, then do get in touch with your pediatrician and learn about the medicines that you can take. There are medicines like gripe water, Colicaid. All these things are soothe your baby when she's in pain. And if your baby is having gas problem, then there could be different remedies of stomach massages that you need to particularly learn from your pediatrician and then apply so that you can help release the gas from your baby. And if you know that your baby has burped well, that's absolutely fine. But if you're in doubt, then do make sure that you burp your baby after every single feed, because that little tiny ball of air that gets stuck in the whole food pipe, that can cause a huge amount of pain in your baby. The third and the most important thing is touch. See, when your little one is really little tiny, then crying is the only way he or she can talk to the environment around her. So when your baby cries, even though she's crying for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, even 4 hours at a stretch, do respond. And what I mean by respond is that pick up your baby, hold him or her to your body, and the touch is very important, because when you do this skin-to-skin touch of your baby and you, the warmth and the heartbeat and everything, those are things that soothe your baby pretty naturally. Try this out. Now lastly, I want to mention, and it's specifically to the parents, if you're going through this phase, that keep calm. It's gonna go. Every parent who has experienced a colicky baby, they know that it's there, but it's gonna go away. But during this phase, it's absolutely okay to get frustrated. So the things that you should do is talk to people about it. And when you are in pain, when you think that you can't really help your baby, even if you want to, always understand that when you're responding to your baby, you're actually helping her. And the other thing that you need to do is sometimes tune out. If you've got your partner along with you, then of course let your partner handle your baby for some time and you tune out, go out, have a walk, have some cool air, have some tea, come back and switch roles, because this way you can share the stress and this way you can keep calm. It's very important for you to stay calm during this period, just as it's important for you to soothe your baby, because if you're not calm, you can take radical decisions which might be harmful for your baby. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions about colicky baby or how you can soothe your baby, please do write in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I'm going to bring a lot more videos about babies in the same weekend spans. Have an awesome life, folks. Ciao.